Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So Google has rolled out the early stable update for desktop for our next stable release, version 144. And Google rolls out the early stable a week or so before the update becomes generally available to the public. So early stable rolled out late yesterday on the 7th in my region, and we are expecting 144 to become generally available next week, Tuesday, the 13th of January 2026. Now, most, including myself, would have not received the early stable, as you may well know if you have been viewing this channel for some time. I think in the 5 odd years I've been running this channel, I've received the early stable once. So it just shows you it's rolled out to a limited subset of users. And when the update rolls out, the version and build will be bumped up to 144.0.7559.59 or somewhere in that point release vicinity. Now, just a quick discussion as to what I think we could see roll out with the early stable. This is what I see over on the Chrome platform status, my observations, and so on. And obviously this is subject to change, so some of these things we're talking about today may or may not see the light of day when 144 rolls out. Now, first of all, just to get the AI and Gemini integration out of the way, apparently you'll be able to share the content of multiple open tabs with AI mode simultaneously, which apparently will allow Gemini to compare information and summarize research across different sources or answer questions based on a broader context of your current work. And then for non-enterprise users who have a Gemini subscription, Gemini will be able to perform actions across Google services like YouTube, Maps, Gmail, and Drive directly from the browser. And there's also going to be a new right-click option that will allow you to upload images directly to Gemini to generate images or ask questions about the visual content. So obviously that's if you right-click on an image that will be available. So that's the AI and Gemini integration. 2 or 3 changes we could see rolling out in that department. Now, apparently there's also going to be a new location button, where instead of annoying pop-ups, websites can now use a specific geolocation button. So you'll be able to share your location when you actually click on that actual button, which I think is a nice move in regards to privacy. And then we have 1 or 2 fixes and improvements in regards to scrolling, where Google says the first is that they fixed a bug where using the keyboard to scroll would sometimes cause the page to bounce or act glitchy when it reached the bottom. So nice to see that that would be addressed if you were experiencing that issue. And we also get smoother visual transitions between different states of a web page, making web apps feel more like native mobile apps apparently now. Very hard to say how that's actually going to unfold, but that's according to the Chrome platform status. And there's also going to be an improvement for found on page. So when you use Control and F to trigger found on page, it's also available in the main menu. That's to find text. Websites will be able to make the highlights easier to see so they don't blend into the background. So that's a nice little UI improvement. And then focusing on security, obviously we would be getting our security fixes that would be rolling out for next week, which will be part of version 144. And over and above that, version 144 will include ways to prevent third-party sites from using the HSTS cache to track users and track you across the web. And that HSTS stands for HTTP Strict Transport Security. So that's a bit of a security and privacy improvement, which is always nice to see taking place under the hood. And at this stage, guys, it's very hard to say if we will see any new front-facing tweaks and adjustments when it comes to the browser UI. Not much really happening in that department in Chrome Canary, which is an early preview version. So the look and feel, I think, is going to be more or less the same when 144 rolls out. And it's also going to be very interesting to see if the workaround are provided when version 142 rolled out to still enable uBlock Origin and other MV2 extensions will still work, because currently it does still work in 143. It's going to be interesting to see if this workaround will still be available and will still work with our next stable release, but obviously I'll keep you guys posted in that department. So as mentioned, that's more or less what I think we can expect to see rolling out with version 144 next week, subject to change. And obviously when 144 reaches stable and general availability, I'll post and keep you guys in the loop. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.